Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here with some breaking news. Trevor Bauer will not opt out of his contract for the 2022 season. Jon Heyman just tweeted minutes ago, Trevor Bauer will not opt out of his historic contract. That should not surprise anyone under the circumstances. Has $64 million to go over 2 years. A decision to opt out also will have resulted in lengthy deferrals. So we'll break down what this means in just a second. But just to get you caught up really quickly, Trevor Bauer missed 81 games this past season after he was placed on administrative leave on July 2nd for 7 days per the league's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. This came 3 days after a temporary restraining order was filed against him in Los Angeles Superior Court. Now, ultimately, his accuser was denied of a restraining order, and the temporary restraining order was ultimately dissolved. And then in late August, the Pasadena Police Department, they finished their investigation into the sexual assault allegations against Trevor Bauer, and they turned the case into the LA County District Attorney's Office. So at this point, we're waiting to see if there will be formal charges filed against Trevor Bauer, and that is the big question right now, because this has taken some time. It could take more time, and then Major League Baseball, they're going to have to rule and see if he violated MLB's domestic violence policy. And according to Bill Shaken of the LA Times, Trevor Bauer still hasn't met with MLB's investigators. This is from Bill Shaken. It says baseball's domestic violence and sexual assault policy requires Bauer to meet with MLB investigators, but he has not done so for the same reason he did not testify. So long as a potential criminal case looms, anything he says in any forum could be used against him in a criminal trial. So every indication says that he is going to be suspended, but they're in limbo right now because they're waiting to see if the DA is going to press charges. Now, you guys know I like to stick strictly to the facts in this case, and based on what all the MLB insiders are saying, guys like Ken Rosenthal, Jon Heyman, Jeff Passan, all believe that Trevor Bauer will ultimately be suspended even if he is in charge. So if you're out there thinking that, hey, maybe the DA comes back, they don't charge him, maybe he'll be in a Dodgers uniform next year, that's still highly unlikely based on everything you read, everyone you talk to, everything that the insiders have said up until this point. Now, as far as this news goes, when it comes to Trevor Bauer not opting out, that doesn't come as a shocker at all, because one, if he did opt out, he would have a very difficult time finding a new job at this point with so much uncertainty surrounding his case. And then also, just look at that money, $35+ million. Who's going to pay him that amount for next season? I'm telling you, no one. Now, if there was a legal battle between him and the Dodgers and they ultimately reached a settlement, I do think there'll be teams out there that would be willing to sign him at a discounted rate, but I don't think there's going to be a team out there that would pay him $35 million for next season. So you're not going to leave that much money on the table if you're Trevor Bauer. Now, how does this impact the Dodgers and their offseason plans? Because they have tons of guys that they want to re-sign. Guys like Corey Seager, Chris Taylor, and then how about Max Scherzer? Will this impact the Dodgers and how much they can potentially offer Max Scherzer? I definitely think it will, but ultimately I think if you're the Dodgers, they know that he is going to be most likely suspended, and that will help them recoup some of the money for at least next year. So I do think the Dodgers, they'll get some money back no matter what. It's just a matter of can they get out from underneath the entire contract? Can they void the contract and determine that he violated some morality clause or something like that? So there's a lot of questions at this point. I do think that the Dodgers, they're just going to try to find a way to move on no matter what. Look, this team prints money. Yes, that's a lot of money, 3 years, $102 million, but we're talking about a franchise that's close to being valued at $4 billion at this point, and I just don't think that they would want the backlash of bringing Trevor Bauer back. Now, this has nothing to do with my opinion on innocent until proven guilty or anything like that. You can feel how you want to feel. I'm just letting you know how I think the Dodgers will act in this situation, and I think they're going to try to move on from Trevor Bauer no matter what, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that that clubhouse wasn't wasn't very receptive to bringing Trevor Bauer back. There were reports that the Dodgers teammates, they didn't want him back in that clubhouse, so I also think that's a major factor. But yes, realistically speaking, if the Dodgers can't get any relief from Trevor Bauer's contract and they still owe him the full amount, you got $64 million, you still have to pay him. If they can't get any relief from that, it is going to impact them in free agency. Just think about what Friedman said a few weeks ago. He was hinting at the fact that the Dodgers, they're probably going to be a little more cost conscious, and there's just so many guys they have to sign. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Dodgers can figure this thing out. But based on what all the insiders that are close to this situation are saying, the Dodgers will be able to get at least some money back for next season based on a looming suspension that is expected at this point. But let me know down below in the comment section, what would you do if you were the Dodgers? Also, do you think there's any chance he could pitch for the Dodgers again? I want all your takes on this one. Be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for up-to-the-minute news and rumors all offseason long. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.